Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki on March 22, 2023 carry waka enter Ologbosere Primary School for Ugbekun Quarters, Ipoba local government area of the state for their inter-house sport for Benin City. Obaseki wey dey happy for the pupils come reaffirming government commitment to the grassroots sport deve. Governor Obaseki tok say government suppose be about the next generation and education na the reset button to take reset society. Say Edo get the culture of sport and wetin dem dey do now na to bring back wetin dey before, the complete deve of children. Im come still tok say every government and parent go dey happy to see say their children dey get better and complete deve. Im say Edo State like sport and grassroots sport na for school e go start, and im happy say dem spend money on top basic education, and if dem get more, dem go spend more.
If I had more, I'll spend more. Because this is what our politics and our whole existence should be about. Cannot be about us, it's about the next generation. So, when I see people talk in society only about themselves and not about those who are not as privileged and those who are more vulnerable, it's quite upsetting. I don't think there can be any greater joy for any government, any parent, than coming to see to the all-round development of their children or wards. Education is that reset button that you can press to reset a society. And we're lucky in Edo, we've always had that tradition and culture of education. So what we are doing as a government is not new. We are trying to reenact, bring back what it used to be, what we've always known. That education is about the all-round development of the child. And we've always been a sporting state. When we talk about grassroots sports development, it starts from the schools. You could see these primary school children today and their involvement, how healthy and how excited they are. And also, you can see the potentials they hold. And this is the time in their lives you catch them and nurture those potentials to get them to what they could be. So I believe it's money well spent. I wish we had more. We'll spend more on basic education.
Edo State Commissioner for Education Dr. Joan Oviawe tok say e get school wey never do inter-house sport or excursion before, as dem stop the by force inter-house sport for 2013, and na why Governor Obaseki make am compulsory for school since 2019. Dr. Joan tok say Obaseki come Ologbosere Primary School inter-house sport to see how e dey go. She say the students dey happy, but e get some school where their ogas no dey committed, but dem don get plan to make sure say school ogas dem get ogbonge training, as Governor Obaseki don make am by force make school dey do inter-house sport, and parents must dey involved for their children school activities.
Co-curricular activities in our basic schools became compulsory in 2019 as part of the Edo-based reform. And when we started in 2019, there were schools that were founded in the 1920s, 1940s, 50s, and so on, who had never done inter-house sport or even gone on school excursion. So the same reform has now been expanded to secondary. So throughout last week, a lot of our secondary schools also did their own inter-house sport. And mandatory inter-house sport stopped in 2013. So you have a generation of students who have gone through our basic and secondary schools that never participated in any sporting or other co-curricular activities. So the governor is very, very particular and has directed us, whether it's the Ministry of SUBEB or the Secondary School Board or even the TVET Board, that co-curricular activities, school clubs are now mandatory. So this is part of His Excellency is here today just to come and see how our policies are being implemented. The strengths are the students, our learners are very excited. They feel loved, they feel important, irrespective of their socioeconomic background or status of their parents. The weakness, I would say, would be that in as much as we try to standardize quality across urban, rural, semi-urban, and riverine schools, we still have pockets of schools where the school heads may not be as committed. But we are also taking steps in that direction to strengthen, to train and retrain all our school heads so that they are able to do this thing well. Another area of improvement is going to be parental participation. If you look around today, you see that the community is well represented. Where are the parents? So in that area, we, as an education ecosystem in Edo State, would have to do a lot more work to engage our parents. And this is why also, as part of Governor Obaseki's education reform initiative in Edo State, we are now going to be setting up a parents' council. So we are reviving all our PTAs, whether public or private schools, because parents must be very involved in the education of their children. So it goes beyond buying textbooks and exercise books.
The ogbonge people wey follow Governor Obaseki for this check na Commissioner for Education Dr. Joan Oviawe, Chairman of Edo State Universal Basic Education Board Mrs. Ozavize Salami, and other government ogas. From Benin City, Taiwo Ayeni, TMC TV News.